Hey, what's going on? John Sonmez here, and today we are picking up on the How to Start an Online Business series, and I'm actually doing what is officially the last video in this series, although I may add some more videos later if you guys request videos to be added to this, and we might expand this, but of my official videos that I had planned out for this series on how to start an online business, this is the last one, which is about automating your online business. You can check out the entire playlist, and I recommend that you start with the video number 1 on the basics of an online business here. Okay, you also can find the link in the description, but I appreciate if you'd click the card so that I know what you guys are clicking. All right, so anyway, we've talked a lot in the series about, from the myths of an online business, how to make money from an online business, the various ways that you do that, what that process is. And what I want to talk about now is how to automate your online business, because I think this is something that's really, really important, especially if you want to generate, what is close to true passive income. And some of the myths, I talked about passive income, and I talked about how it's both a myth that you can have truly passive income, but it's also a myth that you can't, okay? And the reason why that is because it's all about the automation, right? And the more that you can automate a business, the more passive it can be. It's never going to be 100% passive. There's always going to be something you're going to do, but for example, my business, Simple Programmer, it's pretty close to 100% automated. In fact, with my business partner taking it over, essentially like running it, and me just being, still an owner of it, and just basically sitting on the board, it's almost 100% passive for me, right? But even before then, even before I brought my business partner on, I had automate a lot of it. I had gotten to the point where I could go to Europe for 3 months, and you can check it out on this channel. You can check out my videos, and you can see where I wasn't really doing anything. I was just making YouTube videos, and I was able to run the business and still make a lot of money from the business. So here's the thing. Okay, here's what you want to do from the beginning. This is something to think about when you create a business. Is that if you want it to be automatable, right? If you want to be like 4-Hour Work Week, I'll link you to that book, right? If you want to be like that, Tim Ferriss's book, then you need to think about from the beginning how to structure things so that they're not going to completely involve you. Now, it's not so important. You just have to find some way to get out of it, right? And there's lots of ways to get out of it, but you want to think about that a lot, right? So one of the kind of tenets that I always had with my business is I would always say, look, I would rather take less money and have something be automated, okay? So I'd rather take half the money if it can be fully automated than it requiring manual intervention on my part, okay? So that's just kind of a philosophy that I had in growing the business, which worked out really well. We got to a point, in fact, I think the business right now, just to give you some transparent numbers, at least at the time of watching this, is that we're essentially at like $40,000 to $50,000 a month in revenue, and only like $6,000 in expenses. Okay, so the rest is all profit, and it's all almost 100% automated at that point, right? We do the things that are being done in the business are done to grow the business, and that's been the case, for the last year or two. But it can just kind of run like that. Okay, so here's the thing: is what you want to do is you want to look at, and a lot of the processes that you're going to do manually in the business, you're eventually going to be able to automate. So let's take a look at, and I'll just use kind of some case studies, my own business, Simple Programmer here, but we'll start with the basics of what the business was and how those things got automated so you can understand this. So the very first one is the blog. So Simple Programmer started out as a blog, okay? It was a blog where I was writing about programming stuff as I was a programmer, right, in the field, actually working for companies. I was writing about different things that were going on, how to work on teams, kind of soft skill stuff, some technical stuff, okay? But I was writing those blog posts, and I was writing 3 a week at first, and then I started writing 1 a week. And then what I ended up doing was I didn't want to have to just write a blog post every week, okay? I had done that for a long time, for several years. I'd grown the blog, I had traffic coming in, okay? But I wanted to maintain that blog and keep the traffic coming into the site. So what I did was I hired an editorial team who runs a blog and who gets writers. And a lot of people will write free for the blog because it's large enough to get the exposure, but they could also have been paid. Another way to do that is to pay. But essentially what's happening now is that I'm not having to write. And even before then, right, one way that I automated things before then was when I was writing for the blog, I hired someone to edit my stuff to make the images to format in WordPress. So all I had to do was open up a Word doc, write my blog post, and that's all that I did. And the rest of that got done by the staff, okay, by the editor. So right now the entire blog is automated. Okay, so that's number one, is like, can we automate content production to some degree? When the YouTube channel was part of Simple Programmer, but even just, you know, this separate business of the John Sonmez brand, I have an editor. His name is Rodrigo. He's awesome. You guys have heard me talk about him, okay? And he takes care of the video. So I'm going to record this video. I'm recording this video right now. That's all I'm going to do. Okay, he's going to go and he's going to take the videos from Dropbox. He's going to edit the video. Okay, he's going to put in the little things that when I point up here, right? I forget what they're called now. And he's going to put in the description and the links and all that stuff. Okay, make a thumbnail for it, and he's going to publish it on YouTube. Okay, so I'm paying him to do this. Okay, but that's automation. Again, it might not seem like automation because it's still a manual process. Computers aren't doing it. But if you can pay someone to do something and you don't have to worry about it, then it's automation. In order to do that, you have to systemize things, right? So in order to get the blog posts automated, what I had to do was I had to come up with a system when I was doing this stuff manually, and I would write down every single step, and I actually put it in a wiki. Okay, I've got like a wiki and all the business processes. Okay, there's a really good book that you should definitely read. It's called E-Myth Revisited by Michael Gerber. Okay, it talks about this a lot, and this is something that changed my business life. In fact, before I read that book, I was about to quit the business and just let it go to shit because I didn't want to like be doing this crap I was doing every day, editing videos, editing blog posts, all this stuff just like crazy all week long, right? Just to stay on this content treadmill. But when I read that and I realized about creating systems and then automating those systems, that's when things changed for me. That's when I started hiring people and I expanded my team, and it wasn't just me doing all the work, okay? So we same thing's happening with video, right? Same thing happened when I hired Rodrigo. Is I had like steps. These are the steps I take. This is exactly what needs to be done, and we've got those processes in place now. Okay. Now, in addition to that, we want to talk about how to actually automate the revenue generation, right? So that's the content creation. But here's what happens now in Simple Programmer business. Okay, we're getting traffic automatically from SEO. Okay, so from Google, people are coming in, they're visiting articles, okay? They're getting a pop-up or they're getting some kind of opt-in. They're putting in their email address to sign up for an email course, let's say, okay? Now, they're going to we've got in-drip set up, okay? I set up campaigns, autoresponders is what they're called, okay? And what happens is when they sign up, it's automatically set up on day 1, they're going to get this email. On day 3, they're going to get this email. On day 5, they're going to get this email. Whatever it is, right? Whatever that schedule is, and they're going to get these emails. Now, within those emails, okay, there are sales, or there's actual offers for the product, and then depending on the sequence, there might be a sales sequence, or maybe like 90 days from when they sign up on the list, they're going to get a sale on a product if they haven't purchased anything. So there's logic in there, and that's what, you know, good email automation software lets you do, is to put logic in there to say, okay, on this circumstance, right, I'm going to send these emails, right, okay, and if they haven't bought, or they bought this product, then I'm going to send them this email, okay? And the whole idea is that we're automating this, right? So traffic automatically comes in, right? Then people automatically sign up for the email list, or they sign up automatically for these email courses. They get the thing, they get an email sequence, they get pitched, right? The sales process is happening automatically. I'm not calling them up on the phone. I'm not emailing them and saying, hey, would you want to buy something? It's automatically happening, okay? And they're also getting content, right? And then they can go to the sales page and they can go to the checkout and they can click and they can buy, and we can run their credit card, okay, using shopping cart software. And we can automatically send an email that has their login or their download information. No one has to manually do all that stuff, okay? And that's the key, is building that process. And that's why it's good to have like a digital product like that. Now, it might not have to be digital products, right? So at Simple Programmer, we sell t-shirts as well, right? I don't have one on right now, but I've got Trust the Process t-shirts. Go buy one if you want. I'll put the link in the description. Okay, and the way that works is that I have a vendor that I've contracted with. Okay, and he prints the T-shirts and he also ships them and fulfills the orders. So essentially, when you go in there and you buy the T-shirt, what will happen is that my backend software will automatically send him. It's connected through this plugin called ShipStation. Okay, which is in WooCommerce. Okay, and it'll automatically send him the order, and then he will fulfill the order. Okay, so that's how that works. It works automatically, right? It's all automated to a very large degree. Try to think what other pieces of the business. As far as advertising can be automated by running ads or banners on the site. If you have to manually negotiate with advertisers, that's not as automatable, but it can become automated, because what you do is you only work with advertisers that you have agreed upon long terms, and then you all have auto renewals, right? So if you create a contract, so for example, let's say that you're bringing an advertiser on, right, for a brand. You just make it so that it has an auto renewal clause in the contract. And you say after 3 months, it will be this, and the price will be based on number of subscribers or whatever metric, and you can auto renew and you can auto increase the price as well. So you're not having to do much. You're still gonna have to do a little bit there to manage that, but that's a lot better than trying to find new advertisers every month. And you're gonna go through more advertisers, right? You're gonna make less money in general, but you're gonna have a more automated stream of income. The same thing with books, right? I've got some books that I sell, okay? And those I put in the Amazon store, and they're shipping them out and they're printing them out. Right? I use CreateSpace to print the books. They're printed on demand. I don't have to do shit, right? People can buy the books, okay? And it's all automated. In fact, there's leads in the book that get them to the website that sign up for an email list that sell the courses. So all of this stuff can be automated, right? You just have to think about all the pieces that you have in the business and how can you automate these things, right? Affiliate advertising, same thing. You could be sending pitches out automatically. In fact, if you sign up for my email list, right, for Simple Programmer, you're going to get all kinds of stuff. You're going to get pitches for products, for stuff that you did sign up for stuff you didn't sign up for, stuff that has affiliate links in there, okay? All that stuff can be basically automated, right? You just have to figure out how to do it. So the primary thing is you're going to automate things using software, or you're going to automate things by having processes in place and hiring people to fulfill those processes. That's the key to getting the business to run. You shouldn't have to do, like, if you, even my email, okay? So this is another one, right? So the email, my email address for Simple Programmer, I used to have to process all that email, but then I hired someone, trained them how to manage the email, and they managed that email. Okay, now my business partner is actually managing that part of the email as well, so it doesn't require me at all in order to do that. You can have someone be able to manage that email, to be able to process refunds, to be able to do customer service. All that stuff essentially can be automated, so you should be able to get to the point where you don't have to do anything in the business in order for the business to run. Now, and when you're at that point, what you're going to be focusing on is doing stuff to grow the business, adding things, expanding things, building new systems, new processes, right? Tweaking the things in order to make the things run better. But you can definitely get to the point where you can automate a business if you think about it. You know, I've talked to a few people that their businesses rely on sales. And so they're the rainmaker. They're the person who does the sales calls. Same thing. And they say, oh, well, I can't remove myself from it. Bullshit. You can't remove yourself from it. You absolutely can. What you have to do is you have to get salespeople and hire them and teach them how to do what you're doing. It can be done, right? Even with Simple Programmer, my face was the brand of Simple Programmer, okay? And so we're like, oh, well, we can't remove John from it. No, that's not true. Once we started replacing my blog posts with other people's blog posts, pretty soon, people got used to that, and we're getting the SEO traffic. It doesn't matter if it's my face on it or not. We could do the same thing with this YouTube channel if we wanted to. I mean, we split the YouTube channel from Simple Programmer, okay? And that made Simple Programmer even more faceless, right? It doesn't require my face, okay? But if I wanted to sell this YouTube channel, okay, like this, I could start to rebrand this. I could rebrand the name of the channel to not be my name, right? I mean, I actually did the opposite because I like doing YouTube and I like having my channel and using my own brand name. But we could have someone, I could start, doing YouTube videos where I bring in someone and we're like, hey, buddy, and we're doing videos together. And it's kind of a co-host. And then pretty soon there's less of me, there's more of the co-host, right? You see what I'm saying? Like the Tonight Show did this, did it not? It did it multiple times. So there's always a way to automate your business, but you got to think about it in terms of creating processes, okay, and then getting people to be able to do those processes, or getting a machine to be able to do that process. And it's best if you think about it from the beginning. But starting out, you're going to have to manually do everything, okay? Once you've manually done it enough, then you can automate a process. All right, that's all I have for you today. Again, this is the last in the series here. I will probably add some more videos if you guys have some questions and answers. Maybe I'll do a Q&A when this airs, but make sure you click subscribe to the channel. I'll have a bunch more series on a lot of other topics, and also make sure you check out that playlist if you want to start over from the beginning and watch all the videos in this series, and share it if you find this is useful. If you're talking to someone who wants to start an online business, that's why I created this, and I will talk to you next time. Take care.